everybody, and welcome to the premiere of DFIU's 2-minute drill. We've taken the serious video game quizzes we've done of yore, and we've made them a little bit more frantic. 2 minutes for each player to get as many video game questions as they can, and each player has a specialty subject which they'll try to use to double their score at the end of our game. I'm very, very excited about this. It's been a huge labor of love, and I say we just get right into it here and go to our meet our panelists here. I'm just kind of here to be a pretty face right now, but we've got 4 very handsome people who are going to be reading some questions out for our players. Let's meet them first. Fresh off a red-eye flight from San Francisco, it's Theory of Game. How are we doing, Theory?
Where am I? No, I'm good. I'm awake. I can read. We're good.
So tell me, what game that's recently come out have you been really enjoying?
I think we were all addicted to Balatro for a little while, but recently, over the weekend, or at least the past week, X Defiant just came out from Ubisoft. It's kind of got old school COD feel, so I've been having a good time with that.
Nice, fantastic. I might be picking that up myself here, but
it's free to play, so yeah, go play it.
And a big shout out to Theory. Theory's been doing proofing on everything, including this Premeire game. So big shout out. We really appreciate everything you've been doing. Next up is the man who just handled the craziest game of Super Press Your Luck that we've had in 2024. It's Prey. How are you doing, buddy?
Good morning. It's now morning here in the UK.
Yeah, good
so
Sunday
I can
for
say
you.
good morning. Yeah, Sunday for me.
So I know you're a big D&D player, but what have you been playing a lot recently?
For me, I've been doing a lot of sort of Red Dead Redemption RP. On a sort of zombie you know, like Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, but also an RP server at the exact same time. It's great. It's a lot of good fun. I might end up like doing that over on the channel. But I'm also picking up X Defiant because I want to play it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. You've been pivotal in this too and helping out a lot. We really appreciate you. Next up is Tipster, the man who hosts, the only man I know, or man who's a penguin actually, who hosts from an Antarctic iceberg.
Using a very, very wide definition of man there, JB.
I know it has been like hot and awful for you, but I know you've tried to take some time to play some games. I know you're a big F1 guy, but what do you play beyond that?
Honestly, beyond that, it's a lot of chill games. So PC building simulator, house flipper, that kind of low energy, just feel the vibes, brain off, do the thing kind of game.
Absolutely.
Because F1 is intense. If you hadn't realized, it's intense.
And
the new one comes out like next week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm kind of clamoring to see what they've done with it because they say they've revamped everything. I highly doubt it. But
we're glad to have fulfilled our talking animal portion of 2-minute drill here. And finally, a man who has won big money on at least one game show, and also a vast gamer, has played some fantastic games, introduced me to a couple of really cool games. It's Sheldon, Party of Me, who definitely didn't race back to Casa del Sheldon to get here.
Yeah, no, we made it just in time, but we're here. Hi, it's good to be here tonight.
So what have you been playing recently?
I have this thing where I'm always like 3 years behind what is recent. And
Same.
I'm even further back because I had dropped Shovel Knight Treasure Trove right as I reached Plague of Shadows. So I'm running through Plague of Shadows currently. It is quite a delight, but it is driving me insane. And then eventually I'm going to pick it up again years later and beat it.
and you've been doing a good chunk of writing for us too. We have been writing feverishly. This is actually more questions for our upcoming tournament, which I'll talk about in a little bit. than video game Jeopardy. So
Yeah.
but as you'll see, it's a little bit easier right for this, but we'll talk more about that later. But thank you all for joining us. But you're not here to listen to us five talk. You're here to see our three players try to take things on. Here's how round one works. There's each of our panelists has a category of questions that they'll be reading to the players, and they'll be reading them in succession. Every time, this is very complicated rules. Every time you get a question right, you get 1 point. If you manage to sweep a category, you'll get a bonus point for a maximum of 20. The players with the two highest scores go on to round two, and the player who wins it all goes on to round three. And the question of great significance, a specialty question that is very difficult, and we'll see if they can do that. But first, let's meet our first player who has chosen to go first, and that is Ethan MX2. Ethan, how are we doing, buddy?
Oh, doing fine, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. This has been a lot of work to get here, but we're all happy we're here. Your specialty subject, SimCity 2000.
Yeah, that's...
Well, tell us about it.
Well, it's a game that pretty much epitomized my childhood in the 90s and even in the 2000s. Like, I played that game inside and out. Now, granted, a lot of it was, your typical, build the budding metropolis and then watch it all burn to the ground so you could do it again. But it was so much fun to just kind of just waste time just building this little metro that you put together, and it's a good time waster.
It is, and I mean, I've played the original SimCity on the Super Nintendo, so I mean, half the fun is burning everything to the ground and have Bowser go ape. It's easy. You mentioned SimCity 2000. You played it in the 90s, so they lied to us. They didn't release it in 2000. I'm gonna sue Maxis.
It was that point in time where we're closing into the millennium, so everything was becoming 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had SimCity 2000, Blues Brothers 2000, Wheel of Fortune 2000, all that stuff.
All right. Well, you can only get half of 2000, and that's the first half, the 20 part here. Let's take a look at your categories here. Theory is going to be writing or reading you questions about things that happened this year. Yeah, these are all things that happened in 2024. Prey has rolling a 6. All of your answers are going to be exactly 6 letters long.
Okay.
Tipster has Know Your Enemy. This is about enemies in video games. And Sheldon, Party of Me, is going to have Racetrack Logo. These are all questions about Nintendo. All right. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get you into focus here. And let's get over to... Oh, we are on the right screen. Okay, great. Ethan, take a deep breath. Your 2-minute drill begins. And you need to pick somebody. That whole thing. Okay. Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Tipster.
What is the first enemy Mario encounters in 1985 Super Mario Brothers?
Goomba.
Correct.
The Combine are the antagonists in what 2004 Valve sequel?
Fallout. Half-Life 2.
Correct.
Badniks is a catch-all term for enemies in what platforming franchise?
Pass.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
The Umbrella Corporation serves as a major antagonist in what Capcom franchise?
Resident Evil.
Correct. He's done.
Party.
What Nintendo producer is responsible for creating franchises such as Mario and The Legend of Zelda?
Miyamoto.
Correct.
Released in 2001, what was the first Nintendo console to utilize optic media?
The GameCube.
Correct.
The cross-shaped control pad first appeared in 1982 on what line of Nintendo products?
The Famicom.
Game & Watch.
Before getting the name Mario, what was his name when he debuted in Donkey Kong?
Jumpman.
He's done.
Prey.
What Ubisoft Open World series has 2 games that take place in the state of Montana?
Far Cry.
Correct.
What anime ninja's name is on the title of several Shippuden fighting games?
Gaiden.
Naruto.
What popular Namco arcade series made its debut in the year of 1980?
Pac-Man.
Correct.
What was the name of Atari's final games console released in 1993?
Jaguar.
He's done.
Theory.
The 8th version of what popular Namco fighting game was released in January 2024?
Pass.
Tekken.
In May, Sony got in hot water for requiring a PSN sign-in on the PC version of what shooter sequel?
Counter-Strike 2.
Helldivers 2.
What MMO released a classic edition of its Cataclysm expansion just a few days ago?
World of Warcraft.
Correct.
A 13-year-old was the first to attain a kill screen in what popular NES puzzle game?
Tetris.
Correct. And you just got it at the buzzer there. Ethan, that's the good news. You got 11. But
That's
you
not
didn't.
bad.
You didn't sweep anything, unfortunately. So you are going to stay at 11. But really, really well done there. Wow. Helldivers 2 was the game that got into hot water. Tekken 8 came out in January of 2024. Naruto Shippuden, the popular series. Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm surprised you didn't get that for Badniks.
I wasn't a Sega guy.
And then the Game & Watch.
Okay.
That's where you first saw the control pad that we all know and love today. So 11 points. Well done. We'll see if that holds up for you.
Alrighty.
And now we're going to go on to our next contestant here, Ferran Burgundy. You're a big retro guy, I know that, and it's good to have you here. Your specialty subject is Dragon Warrior, which I know you know a ton about.
Yeah, I played it a bunch as a kid, and recently grew to love and loathe it with Dragon Warrior Randomizer going back from 2016 till now.
Yeah, I've seen you run a couple races with that and get angry at it. So, 11. You saw Ethan get 11. How are you feeling after seeing his performance?
Petrified?
Petrified? Well, hey, you never know here. 11 is a solid score, but I feel good about you, and you're going to do well here. Let's get our next set of categories here for you. Our first category is from Theory of Game. He's going to have Places, Please. These are all real-life places. I can hear myself echoing, by the way. These are all real-life places associated with video games. Prey has O Canada, because he loves Canada. I don't know. But these all are questions having to do with video games coming from Canada.
Nova Scotia is kind of Scotland.
Oh, true, actually. No, yeah.
Tipster has Final Bosses. Pretty self-explanatory there. It's the last boss you had, at your job. No, obviously it's the bosses in video games that are the last one. And then Party of Me has first-person shooters. Pew pew pew. So those are all of your topics here. Let me just do something really quick to make sure the timer's working. All right, there we go. All right. Why can I hear myself?
It's through Kurt's mic.
Is it through me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, your door's open.
There was a feline who wanted to liberate herself. Okay.
Walking out the door. Liberation!
The true Tetris kill screen happened in January, Tadaru. But, all right. Ferran, take a deep breath. You're going to do fine. Your 2-minute drill begins now. Oh.
Prey.
EA has major studios in Vancouver and what city, the largest in Quebec?
Montreal?
Correct.
Relic Entertainment has produced several Dawn of War games based off of what Games Workshop franchise?
Pass.
Warhammer 40K.
Vancouver's Next Level Games developed 3 games for what Mario Soccer franchise?
Yes, I heard Strikers. That's correct.
What Edmonton game developer is responsible for the Mass Effect series? I heard a pass.
Hold on.
Time.
Pausing timer. Ferran, we can barely hear you.
We can't hear you.
Oh. Maybe it's my meekness. Pass.
Okay, that was a pass. Okay,
That
I'm gonna
was a pass.
reset the timer to 84 seconds because we were having trouble hearing you. All right, and Prey is done. So let me just hide that. We're gonna restart the timer now.
Yep, sure.
What is the name of the final enemy in The Legend of Zelda and the Ocarina of Time?
Ganon.
Correct.
What Bram Stoker vampire is the final boss in the first 2 Castlevania games?
Dracula.
Correct.
Senator Stephen Armstrong is the final boss in what Metal Gear title?
Metal Gear Solid.
Rising.
Players fight Lavos in what Square RPG to settle the game's timeline?
Repeat that, please.
Players fight Lavos in what Square RPG to settle the game's timeline?
Chrono Trigger.
Correct. He's done.
Theory.
In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Burnside Skate Park is located in what Oregon city?
Portland.
Correct.
Fallout 4's Diamond City is a facsimile of what city's Fenway Park?
Boston.
Correct.
The 2012 game Sleeping Dogs takes place in what Asian region?
Pat.
Hong Kong.
What New York City borough is the setting for the 2018 title Marvel's Spider-Man?
Manhattan.
Correct. That's going to be time. We didn't even get to Sheldon, unfortunately. But
I got all 32.
First-person shooters.
well, you got 8. Then that puts you in second place right now. Really well done. That could put you into round 2. But well done with the 8 points. Round of applause in chat for Ferran. And we're going to meet our next contestant here in just a moment. And our next contestant is Oni 573. Or Oni 91 573. Oni, I know you kind of jumped in here last minute, but you have a specialty subject that's near and dear to me as well. Dance Dance Revolution, game that consumed my early 20s.
And it consumed pretty much over half of my life. So I started playing in 2002. So I was 11 at the time. Now I'm 33. Yeah.
You're 33, yeah. DDR is 25 years old. Actually, no, yeah, it's gonna be 26 years old this year, and I feel my knees
25
buckling
years
at the thought of that.
I know, my knees will never forgive me.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll be talking about your knowledge of DDR later on, but you've got to meet our panelists first. And Theory's topic for this round is hardware in the 90s.
Ooh.
These are obviously tools, drills, things like that were produced in the no, it's video game consoles. Prey has, and the award goes to games that have won awards. Pretty simple. Tip has Gotta Catch 'Em All. These are ways to catch baseball and cricket. No, it's obviously about Pokemon. And Party of Me is Gaga for Sega. And we're gonna focus you now here. And
I grew up with a Mega Drive, so
hopefully
I think I like all 4 of those.
All right.
I think all 4 of those are good to me.
All right, let me just make sure the timer's working. Oni, your 2-minute drill begins now.
Tipster.
What item not usually found in Pokemarts is required to evolve Jigglypuff?
A Moonstone.
Correct.
Released in 2016, what developer is responsible for the mobile game Pokemon Go?
Niantic.
Correct.
Dark and what other Pokemon type were introduced in Pokemon Gold and Silver?
Steel.
Correct.
Pokemon Dash was the first Pokemon game released on what handheld console?
Nintendo DS.
Correct. He's done.
Party Me.
Released in 1999, controllers resembling what percussion instrument were included with Samba de Amigo?
Maracas.
Correct.
Ryo Hazuki is the protagonist of what open-world trilogy which debuted on Dreamcast in 1999?
Shenmue.
Correct.
What 2022 Sonic the Hedgehog title takes place in the Starfall Islands?
Pass.
Sonic Frontiers.
Sega released a VR version of what quirky rhythm game to PS4, MetaQuest, and PC in February of 2020?
Pass.
Space Channel 5. He's done.
Theory.
What 1994 console sold over 78 million units, including over 26 million in North America?
PlayStation 1.
Correct.
What 1995 portable from Nintendo is their only console to not sell 1 million units?
Virtual Boy.
Correct.
What LCD game manufacturer released the Game.com in 1997?
Tiger.
Correct.
Retailing at $700, what 1993 gaming platform had consoles branded by multiple manufacturers?
3DM.
Correct. He's done.
Right.
What 2008 Sony platformer was awarded Game of the Year at the DICE Awards?
Braid.
Little Big Planet.
The 2016 Game Awards crowned what Blizzard shooter as their Game of the Year?
Overwatch.
Correct.
Electronic Gaming Monthly called
That's
what?
time. Well, Oni, you got yourself 11, but you're not done because you swept Theory and you swept Tipster, meaning you go to 13. Well done there, which does mean we have to say goodbye to Ferran. Ferran, I hope you had a good time with us. Ferran, are you with us, my friend? He may have passed out at the sheer shock of Oni catching up with him. But Ferran, thank you so much for playing with us. You did get 8, which means we do have to say goodbye to you. But Ethan and Oni, you'll be taking each other on in round number 2. And that'll happen here on the other side of this break here on the 2-minute drill. Don't go anywhere. And before we go to break, here's a question for you in the chat. What NES game was the only one to have Wario make an appearance? We'll reveal the answer on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Chat, let us know what you think the correct answer is to our 2-minute drill break question. Our chat question here, what NES game was the only one to have Wario make an appearance? Throw them in chat there. We do have at least one chatter right, and that answer is, of course, Wario's Woods, the only game Wario appeared in on the NES. And strangely enough, that was the last game released on the NES. We're back here with a 2-minute drill. All right. Welcome back to the 2-minute drill. It was a hotly contested first round, but Ethan and Oni are the ones surviving. And our round 2 works a little bit differently. There's still 20 questions, but there's no categories, and they're just going to be fired off from our panelists. I'm just going to sit here and look pretty and have a little gas in my esophagus. But according to the Belgian rules of 2-minute drill, the player in second place will be going first. So, Ethan, you're going to be sitting in the seat. So 11, you're down by 2. Were you a little intimidated by how Oni was rattling some of those off, or are you still feeling pretty confident here?
I'm still pretty confident. Like most of the stuff that he got right, I got right too. I think just the fact that he got a couple of sweeps in there, that's pretty much the only reason he's in the lead right now.
All right. Well, it's big time for you here. You're gonna get 2 minutes again. Let me just make sure the timer is working. All right, great. All right. Ethan, again, these questions are just coming randomly, and it's general knowledge at this point, all right?
Right.
No bonuses or anything. Deep breath. Your 2-minute drill.
Camera 2, JB.
Camera 2. Camera 2. There's camera 2. All right.
Hey.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
What Nintendo peripheral appeared as a playable character in Mario Kart DS?
Rob.
Correct.
What weapon in Gears of War is part assault rifle and part chainsaw?
Pass.
Lancer.
What 2002 Xbox game included a controller with 44 input points?
Armored Core.
Steel Battalion.
In Pokemon Red and Blue, what town does the player start their game in?
Pallet Town.
Correct.
What planet shares its name with a Sega game console?
Saturn.
Correct.
What Legend of Zelda title takes place in the land of Termina?
Pass.
Majora's Mask.
What 2013 first-person shooter took place in the Skyward City state of Columbia?
Bioshock Infinite.
Correct.
What 2018 platforming title sees a character named Madeline attempt to scale a mountain?
Celeste.
Correct.
What fighting game's first installment was subtitled Chrono Trigger?
Pass.
Blaze Blue.
Guybrush Threepwood is the protagonist of what graphic adventure series?
Syndicate.
Monkey Island.
Primarily, what color is the video game character Spyro the Dragon?
Purple.
Correct.
What character pilots the Mecha?
Diva.
Correct.
What Chicago-born wrestler was on the cover of WWE 2013?
CM Punk.
Correct.
What company publishes the game Fortnite?
Epic.
Correct.
In the Sonic the Hedgehog series, what kind of animal is Tails?
A squirrel.
Fox.
Renoa and Squall are major characters in what Final Fantasy game?
7.
8.
2006 Dead Rising takes place in what kind of building?
A mall.
Correct.
Tron Bonne made her debut in what Capcom title on the PlayStation?
I don't have it.
All right. It'd be Mega Man Legends.
Mega Man!
Oh, my goodness. You got through 18 questions. You got 10 of them right. That puts your score at 21. That'll be a good score to beat here. Let's bring Oni over to the chair. Oni,
Yep.
were you getting some of those questions?
Yeah, I was picking up like the ones that you were missing, and I didn't get a few of the ones that you got. So I probably would have done about the same, I reckon.
All right. Well, you need to get 8 to tie, and you need to get 9 to win. However, keep going once you've cleared that point, because you're going to want to try to attain a high score here. And I'll kind of explain that right now. When we do this for real, we're going to have a tournament. It's going to be an 18-player tournament, and the question of great significance has the opportunity to double a player's score. The better you score, the better you're seated in the actual bracket. So things to keep in mind there. But for this, just proof of concept, of course. But Oni?
Yep.
Deep breath here.
Will do.
Let me just make sure the timer's good to go. It is. All right. Oni, your 2-minute drill begins now.
What was the first band to get their own Guitar Hero game?
Metallica.
Aerosmith.
Robin Show played what Mortal Kombat fighter in 2 1990s films?
Raiden.
Liu Kang.
In Super Mario Bros. 3, what color is Karibo's shoe?
Blue. Oh,
Green.
Sorry.
Got to take your first answer.
What 2010 racing game shares its name with a band known for Song 2?
Blur.
Correct.
What button can be found on the underside of a Nintendo 64 controller?
Z.
Correct.
What melee button does Gordon Freeman utilize in Half-Life?
Pass.
Crowbar.
The game
Sheldon.
Hexic was digitally included with what 2000s console?
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
The game Hexic was digitally included with what 2000s console?
Oh, Xbox 360.
Correct.
What former NBA player was the protagonist in 1994's Chaos in the Windy City?
Oh, God. Pass.
Michael Jordan.
Mike Hagger is a major protagonist in what beat-em-up franchise?
Final Fight.
Correct.
What 2010 Nintendo DS game is subtitled Phantom Detective?
Ghost Trick.
Correct.
What 2 Pokemon were featured on the covers of the Switch Let's Go games?
Eevee and Pikachu.
Correct.
In the Street Fighter series, what country does Sagat hail from?
Thailand.
Correct.
What was the first Nintendo console to natively support HDMI?
Wii.
Wii U.
What 24 actor voiced Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5?
Kiva Suguru.
Correct.
What company publishes the Assassin's Creed games?
Ubisoft.
Correct.
On what console did the first Super Smash Bros. Game release?
N64.
Correct.
In what year was the PlayStation 4 released?
2015.
Repeat that one more time for me.
I said 2015.
It's 2013. But Oni, you've managed to squeak it out. You got 10 out of the 17 you face, meaning you are the first ever winner of DFIU's 2-minute drill. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
And you'll have an opportunity to go to 46 points here in a minute. But first, Ethan, commiserations. 21's a very good score, and I hope you had fun with us tonight.
That was a lot of fun. It got really close there, and then, boy, Oni really did pull it out. Well done, man.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, Oni, you have an opportunity to get to 46 points and get a $5 Steam gift card when we come back here on DFIU's 2-minute drill. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to DFIU's 2-minute drill. And the last man standing was across the ocean. Oni, our big winner, with 23 points. And let's have a quick chat with Oni. Oni, your specialty subject, Dance Dance Revolution, and we talked about this a little earlier. As we now bring you on camera, that's the other prize you get. Everybody gets to look at your beautiful face.
Oh, excellent, wonderful.
Do you have a great moment or story, involving DDR?
Oh God. Well, they're getting into. It's not really necessarily a story, but it's basically getting into like the community of, particularly the guys that do the modded versions of DDR.
Mm-hmm.
Like the open courses, about being able to probably break the game and mod it. If you know like Taro's work, if any of you have heard of Taro, one of the things he does is the UK sight reading tournament, where it's basically a twisted, broken version of DDR where they mimic a load of different game types. The one that I first did, which was the first one I think was put on YouTube, and it was all themed around Rhythm Paradise. And I ended up winning the entire tournament. And actually, it still cringes me to this day that the playthrough of the final round, you could hear me at the end scream, "I actually won something!"
Well, you actually won something here tonight as well. DDR, a big personal game for me as well. I've met a lot of people through it. If you know Luguru, I've known Luguru over 20 years. We met through DDR, and I know a lot of people through DDR. Actually, Tadaru, we knew each other in the Pacific Northwest community in the United States, and then we've reconnected through online quiz. But you're going to get a question here. It has multiple correct answers. You need to give me all parts of the correct answer. Every time you give me part of the correct answer, you do get a little bit of a score boost of 3 points. But if you give me the whole thing, we'll double your score to 46. I need to let you know, though, at any time you give me an incorrect answer, the round is over. Okay?
So it's a 5-parter normally, right?
Well, you'll find out here, as here comes your question of great significance. Pretty cool effect, huh? DDR Extreme was one of the biggest arcade releases of everyone's favorite arrow smashing game. While introduced in DDR Max 2, Oni courses made their return, including the all-10 difficulty Legend Road. This grueling course started with Max 300 and goes into 4 more incredibly challenging songs. To double your score to 46, all you have to do is tell me the next 4 songs in the Legend Road. Oh, one more thing, Oni. You need to give them to me in the correct order, starting from the end of Max 300.
Okay. Do I start now? So for Max 300, next one would naturally be Max Unlimited.
Beg pardon?
Max Unlimited.
That's correct. That's the next song. What's third?
Okay. Third. Paranoia Survivor.
I'm sorry, that's not it. We're going to tack your score up, though, to 26, so that's your final score for the night. The order is...
I know the last two. So.
Okay, well, what are the last two?
It's Legend of Max and Paranoia Survivor Max Oni.
Yeah. The one that's in the middle? Sakura.
Is the other 10.
Oh, you just missed it.
Yeah.
But hey, 26 points. You're the first ever winner of 2-minute drill. I hope it was a fun experience for you, my man.
Oh yeah, it was, man.
All right, I've had goosebumps this whole time doing this. I want to thank Oni, Ethan, and Farhan for playing along with us and being our first guinea pigs. If you're interested in playing this, the tournament will start in September, so you'll want to be on the lookout for the sign up for that. And I also want to thank Theory of Game, Prey, Tipster, Party of Me, Luguru. They've all been helping with writing and proofing. I want to thank Stod for he's been contributing to the sheet and kind of been pushing us in a good direction production-wise. And Mr. Game Show put together this software, and I thank him immensely for it. And everybody else in DFIU who I haven't mentioned, you're always a big morale booster here. And we were all very nervous, I think, coming into this, me especially, and we got through it. But thank you all so much for watching the 2-minute drill. Please let me know what you think of it in the Discord. And when we come back, we're going to do something for an hour before Wheel After Dark. Find out what that is. But for now, that's the 2-minute drill. We'll see you soon.
Woo! Success!
Yeah.
Sorry, is my audio leaking through?
We'll be right back, folks.